Hi, welcome back. So I'm recording this right after episode 83. That's why I'm wearing same clothing. I do want to talk about my issue with weight, my self-image. I think a lot of girls go through the same thing, and I wanted to share my experience. So in elementary school, I didn't have a problem. I didn't think of myself as fat. Um, I was totally fine. I felt confident. It just wasn't an issue. And then in middle school, I noticed that other girls were dating, and although dating wasn't really part of my life, so to speak, um, looking back, I did feel a little lonely. I felt left out because in a lot of respects, I felt very confident. I had a positive self-image. Um, but if you talk to me about my weight, if I looked at myself in the mirror, which I didn't usually do, except putting on makeup and so forth, um, I always avoided looking at my body, particularly my waist and so forth. Um, I couldn't really look in a mirror unless I had to. I remember seventh grade, St. Patrick's Day, uh, and I wore probably the only green shirt I had. It was striped, which is not really good if you want to conceal your weight, your waistline. And I felt fat that whole day. Um, I just felt out of place. I felt nobody would look at me. Um, I was very self-conscious. And then sometime in high school, I remember seeing a contortionist, and I really got into contortionists. Um, they're amazing. Um, I wish I could do those moves. I got really good at it. Um, I could do, I really wanted, oh my, I think it's the back bend, the front bend, where you have your legs kind of, I guess, you're kind of sitting on your back. You probably know what I mean. I envy those girls. Um, so I got into contortion, and I remember January 1st, would have been 1993, January 1st, I made a vow to myself, a New Year's resolution, to totally cut out ice cream. And, uh, no, it wasn't 93, it was 94. No, 93, because I remember talking to that girl from high school that I've mentioned. I've nicknamed her Punky Brewster to protect her privacy. Um, I can't see all my subscribers. Um, I can't see, I can only see almost half of them. But I've been hoping that amongst them, Punky Brewster is out there watching. And if you are, thank you. You partly inspired this channel. Um, in some sense, you inspired me in many ways. Um, you inspired me to do this channel, and you inspired me to look the way I am eventually. Um, anyway, I remember talking with her in that second semester, so it would have been like May 1994, and I remember mentioning I think I said I'd gone 1 year without ice cream, and she laughed and she said, "Well, I'm glad you told me that." I don't know if she remembers now, if she's even watching, but it's a nice memory. I'm glad I was able to share this, and hopefully she is. But anyway, going back, so I cut out ice cream. I started doing contortion exercises, still amazed and still looking forward, still trying to be able to get to the level of talent that these amazing, extraordinary people on TV were able to do. Here's where I am right now. Um, I have a positive self-image, as you can probably tell in my other videos, and I've gone on not Facebook, well, Facebook Marketplace. I've gone on different dating sites, and um, I look at other profiles of other women, and I wish I were that thin. I haven't had a good track record when it comes to guys contacting me back. And I look at my body in the mirror, and I see my nice face, I see my nice makeup, but below the chest, I see myself as not really fat. It's more like my body is proportionate, but it could be thinner. And I know how judgmental people are for photos on dating sites. And I remember back then, I used to do more dating. I used to fill out more profiles online, and I would fill out these profiles with great personality. I would mention my talents and my attributes. I have a nice smiling face, but I wouldn't really get a response. And I don't know if I hadn't thought that it was because of, well, in some sense, a little bit of me thought maybe it's because I'm bigger than other girls. But I kept trying and trying. Hopefully it'll work out. I'll find that dream guy. And I know I put on factors myself, limiting factors like geography, and I'm looking for a Jewish guy. And I know I'm not in the best area geographically when it comes to dating. And just those factors I know are working against me. But I still think about my weight, and maybe that had something to do with it. I know recently, okay, so 2018, the beginning of 2018, I had a stroke. At least that's what the doctors called it. I think of it as a blood clot. And I'm fine now. As you can see, I'm totally fine now. But they ran a whole bunch of tests when I was in the hospital, and they discovered that I had hypothyroidism. And I've looked up, and I'm on medication now to keep it, 2 medications. I'll mention, well, no, I won't. Just to keep it in check, my hypothyroidism. So I realized that, and this is my message for you, that you may not know everything about your body. Everybody's metabolism is different. And I guess I was working against what my body was capable of. Everybody's metabolism is different. It takes more with that diagnosis. I guess it takes more for me to work towards looking that thin. It still doesn't solve the problem. I'd still look the way I am, and when I know tomorrow morning, when I get dressed, I'll look in the mirror and I'll still see a body that is not my best, is not the best, my ideal. but I'll just have to live with it. Okay, I can't forget to tell you about my doctor's appointment and weighing in after my hospital stay, after my stroke. Um, I was in the hospital for a month, the month of January, and it would have been a few months later. I met my new doctor's appointment, and of course, they have you weigh in, and I lost 10 pounds. I felt so excited. Um, so I felt I was on a good road. I remember, well, all right, I won't get into my weight precisely, but I lost 10 pounds. Um, and unfortunately, since then, I've, I've gone back to eating ice cream a bit. I know. Although I really have a strong willpower, um, I really do. And I don't eat that much. I want to get into that. I don't eat that much. Um, in fact, some people might say, you're dieting already. I mean, um, I eat when I. Okay, so here's okay. So um, maybe there's a flaw in how I eat. Um, I avoid, thanks to my mom, I avoid high fructose. I'm sorry, high fructose corn syrup, which lets out a lot of things. Um, and I'm just careful. I eat cereal. I eat apples, fruits, which again have sugar, but then again, they're nutritious. Um, and I've been eating more vegetables recently. Um, I eat breads. I don't eat a lot of bread. Um, I don't eat a lot of meat, come to think of it. There was a while where I'd go to a local supermarket, and just about every week, seems to be a routine thing. Like it was the same way for ice cream. Um, I would buy their barbecue chicken. Oh, just about every weekend. It was kind of a treat. The same thing happened with me and ice cream. Um, I hadn't remember I mentioned I hadn't eaten ice cream since somewhere around early '93, maybe early '94. Well, um, about a decade, no, about 2015, because I had left my mom's house, and my mom and I were living in a new house. And just as a treat, like kind of like a housewarming treat, I liked ice cream floats. So I got my Coca-Cola glasses, and I filled it with ice cream, and I didn't put any. Maybe I did. I put on syrup. I remember I got Coca-Cola. I remember I got ice cream, and then it happened. Um, every week I got some ice cream, some nice burned dairy, half gallon still. Um, but I started eating it on a regular basis. Um, I mean, weekends, I mean. Um, and the same thing happened with the barbecue chicken. It started to become a habit, a nice treat, and I still had some sense of self control. Um, I wasn't eating as many vegetables as I am now, but I was still eating fruits. Okay, so I don't eat that much food. It's not the quantity. Um, it's, I guess, what I'm eating. Um, all right, so fast forward to 2018, no, 2021, something like that, 2020. I was working as a temp contract at a psychiatric center. I think I've mentioned that before. And I was assisting the 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 clerk you see when somebody comes in and checks in. I was her assistant, um, and thank goodness she was encouraging. If you're watching this, hi. Um, so she was encouraging, and I started doing some exercises, some physical exercises, because after somebody checks in, especially for me, the paperwork wasn't that long and detailed. I could whip it out pretty quickly. Um, so in those long time, particularly during COVID, um, I had a lot of time in between appointments. So I would do some stretches, some leg stretches, and stuff like that. And she noticed and she encouraged it. She herself, okay, I don't want to give her away, but I'll just say that she's an active exercise participant. She's gone on walks. That's how she's met some friends. Um, so she's encouraging. She also encouraged me in, I'm trying to remember the name of the diet. It was a diet where you eat a normal amount, what I would consider a normal amount, and then you fast for like 3 days. No, you fast for like 48 hours, something like that. Um, and it had some credibility because I noticed online celebrities were doing it. And of course, if celebrities are doing it, it's got credibility. There's got to be something to it, right? Um, so I started doing that, which actually wasn't much different from how I was normally eating. Um, so that I don't know if that really was doing the trick, but I am still. So I weighed myself recently. I went to a doctor's office last year, I think, and I was still at the same weight that I was before I had the stroke. Um, it's just this enemy. It's this mortal enemy. I don't like to say that. I don't like to call it that because it feels like it's self-defeating. But so my doctor's appointment and the weigh-in was some months ago. I switched more to vegetables. I'm still eating cereal. Yeah. So I reached out to a former classmate of mine because and now I'll do a plug for her. Hi, thanks. I'll do a plug for her. She has a really killer Facebook page. Her company name is Patty Jones Fitness. Um, and she has some videos. She's done some streaming videos. I don't know. I'm not sure if she's done some recently. Um, but I'm sure if you reach out to her on Facebook, I'm sure she'll be happy to give you advice. Um, so in the past couple of years, I contacted her and I mentioned what I'm eating. She asked. Okay, she asked me, tell me, give me like a journal. And you've probably heard this before. Give me a journal, a diet journal of what you eat every day. Um, And I did that, and there's a way of calculating the ideal weight. In other words, to eat at a deficit, so you're actually losing weight. Um, and that's basically where I left off. I haven't contacted her back, of course, except to get permission to make this plug. Um, but I guess right now I'll continue on with my journey, and I hope I've encouraged you in your pursuit. Those of you who have weight issues, or if you think you have weight issues, um, that's fine. So, if you like this video, please like it. It helps the algorithms, as they say. And if you like the content, I'm pretty frank, I'm pretty open. I talk about myself. I talk about experiences I've had that I think many of you would sympathize with and empathize with. Um, and my channel is called Introspection. I'm encouraging people to look within themselves, reassess themselves, understand each other. understand themselves. Um, and I'll continue doing that. 2 videos ago, Jeff had mentioned his thoughts about the forthcoming second season, and he has me doing my bucket list. So if you haven't seen that video, a bucket list is those items, it's a list of what you want to accomplish in life before you kick the bucket. um, so I'm going to outline, I've already outlined one some years back, but fortunately I've improved on that. One of those items was reaching out to my cousins and building a better bond with them. And fortunately, it's worked out. It's worked out as well as I'll settle for right now. Of course, I hope it'll be better soon. So that's pretty much off the list. Perhaps I'll make a forthcoming video again about my bucket list. All right, so that wraps things up. I'll leave things off, and I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you again next week. Okay, bye-bye.